Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Just Demo Series, the ultimate solution for designing a reliable public safety network. My name is Singh. I'm a sales engineer with iBwave, and today I will be doing this presentation and demo. With me, my marketing manager Daniel is with me.
Hello everyone.
A few housekeeping items. After the session is over, it's a recorded session, so we'll send you the link to the recording to your email you used to register. We also encourage a lot of people to ask questions. So there's a question tab in your GoToMeeting. Put your questions up there and we'll answer it at the end of the demo. Again, this is a quick demo of the product. If you have a question, you want to set up a one-on-one session, send us an email at sales@iBwave.com. Now, why iBwave? Why iBwave public safety solution? Well, one thing is iBwave provide product which can, from start to end of the project, it can do it for you. For example, you have a project start. The first step is always what happened. Hey, you have a building, doesn't have public safety coverage. You need to go verify the coverage, right? You want to collect some information of the building so that you can give the design engineer, they can do that. So we have this product called Epic Prism Scanner, which can allow you to do grid testing. And based on the grid testing, where you can decide whether you need coverage or not. And you can share this information with AHA. We also have this product called iBwave Mobile, which works with Epic Prism Scanner, so you can see the data in easy format. Also, when you go to a building, you can capture a lot of information, like, hey, what walls it is, what you can take pictures, you can do other details up there, like cable route, antenna location. You can do all the information up there. Now, traditionally, how people do it, they use paper and pen. It's a great way of doing it, but what happens when you collect information, paper and pen, you go to home office, make a nice PowerPoint, put pictures up there, connect everything, and send to a design engineer. Now, it takes a lot of time. And I'll show you in a demo how easily this can be done in a digital format so that when you've done it, you seamless integrate with your design software. So all the information you captured is in the design software. Now your survey is done, you need a building, you need coverage. But the next step is to do design for the project. Now iBwave have this product called iBwave Public Safety. It's a standalone module, it's a subscription model, which help you to do public safety design. Now, why it's unique? Well, it can allow you to do active and passive design. It gives you a great 3D model. But the biggest point of it, it's like, hey, you need public safety system so that when first responder, like police on fire, there's emergency people coming out, they're going in to protect people, and they want to make sure they have reliable coverage. So you need a particular software who can design everything accurately, and that's what you need. So reliability is very, very important, and that's what iBwave design software can give you. We can also create a report in multiple format, which can be easy to use. For example, you create a design, but now who going to use the design? The AHJs, you have a contractors, you have a project manager, start of equipment. So you have a great design, but if you're not give the information in a usable format, it's not useful. And you can see how we can do that. Now you're done with the design, you did the system, you commissioned the system. Now what the next step? Well, it's a verification. So again, you can use iBwave Mobile and Epic Prism Scanner to check the data to make sure everything's passing or not, right? It meets your KPI or not. And at the same time, you can use iBwave Mobile to change the as-built. So when everything is done, you can say, hey, this is the as-built, send the design engineer, they can update. So your record is up to date. The last thing is we have a lot of projects up there. How we traditionally people use it, people use a jump drive or shared drive, and that's it. Now, information is there, but it's not very useful. Now, iBwave have a product called iBwave Unity, where you put all the projects in there. Now, not only the projects are there, you can do a lot of intelligence on it. For example, in public safety, every year you're required to go test the building. Now you have to remember it, either you have to create Excel, but in iBwave Unity, you can install the project, put the information about, hey, when the system is commissioned. Now you can search it, like think about 100 projects you have. You can search how many projects in the month of September need testing done. You can get that information. You can search the product, hey, how many product I use XYZ product. And how many buildings you have done certain way. Like for example, I have 100 projects. How many of them were hotel? It'll tell you 10 project hotel. How many projects were 10 hotel? How much cost my per square foot it is? So you can do a lot of intelligence on the product up there. So it's not only a repository system, it allows you to use the data in a useful format. Again, public safety design software. One of the biggest thing for iBwave is the reliability. We use fast ray tracing model, which is very, very reliable. So that when police and fire need a system, it works. And that's what iBwave shines. We can also do an active and passive design. right? You have a very accurate 3D model up there, which I'll show in later. We have a comprehensive database, which basically have 37,000 or more product. Anytime a vendor create a new product, we work with them to get into our database. Now, next part is customize and complete documentation with the AHJ. You can see in the sample I'll show later on that you can put all the information in AHJ in a design file so that you get complete package, not like, hey, this particular design software, this is the appendix, this is a grid report. You don't have multiple things. You just one place, you get everything. And the best part for me is seamless integration. So the field engineer capture the information, it can be transferred to the design engineer. Design engineer doesn't have to look, oh, where is the cable? Where is the riser? Do this room is the IDF location? Do we have power up there? All the information is saved up there. And once it's saved in the designs, integrated in design, it's there for life. So even you're 10 years down the road, you want to see what the room look like, you can click up there, you can get the details. Next is scanner. So IBM have this Epic Prism scanner. This is the size of the scanner. Now, the relative of this is a business card. It's so small and compact. Even as a compact scanner, it's very, very reliable and accurate. Now, this scanner was created for DoD application, for military application. Now, with this scanner, we can do public safety grid testing. We can do LT testing. We can also do a 5G testing. Another beautiful things about this thing is once you collect data with this particular software for LTE and 5G, you don't need a post-processing software. You either mobile survey or you take the data into design software, you can create a report using that. Another cool thing about this scanner is I don't need a spectrum analyzer. I don't have to pay for blind scanning extra option. This scanner comes with that option. So you're looking for interface hunting, you can use the scanner, the spectrum analyzer mode to get that information. Now we have done a demo. Last session, I did a just demo on grid testing and mobile survey application. You can go to this barcode and you can get that information if you want to do. If you want to see it and learn more about it. If not, you can always send us email at sales@iBwave.com and we can do one-on-one session with you to talk more about the product. Now, I'm going to start the product demo. So I'm going to start with the mobile survey first. So see what mobile survey can do, and then we'll do a design software. So when you open a project in mobile survey, you see something like this. This is a project I download from the server. Now you can double click on the project. You can see what the project have. This have one particular floor plan. I'm gonna click. So my job is to walk this floor plan and capture the information. Now mobile survey have different element, and let me go through each element. The first is basic. So suppose you want to make notes up there. I can go a push pin and say, hey, this is an MDF closet. I can call MDF. I say great. And now this will allow you to take pictures, videos, text up there. Now what I used to do it there is take videos. I used to go to IDF closet and say, hey, this is, or in this case, text up here. I used to go to video of a room and I say, hey, this is MDF room. I have a riser on this thing. I have a back wall where I can put my BDA or I have donor antenna. So you can put all the details up there. So in this case, I'll just put a text up there and save it. And I go back. Now, another things we can do is markup. So suppose you want to show hard ceiling up there. So my group, I used to manage design teams. We used to tell, hey, if you put a box, you can click on markup. If you put a box like this, and the box shade is red, then I know this whole ceiling, the walkway, it's basically hard ceiling. Now, why it's important? Because if you remember, when you run cable through hard ceiling, you have to put a junction box every 6 feet up there so you can run the cable up there. So all this thing information is there. I can also take pictures and video up there. Videos on mobile survey so you can capture it. The next is survey option. Now you can, if you purchase mobile survey, you can do a Wi-Fi testing. Right? You can also do it SIM card testing. What SIM card testing basically means is, suppose you have a tablet, you would install mobile survey on it. The tablet is a Verizon tablet, AT&T or T-Mobile tablet, or it's a CBRS tablet. Now it's the SIM card in there. Now when you walk, just like a normal walk, benchmark walk we do, you can capture all the information what the SIM card is saying. So you don't need any sophisticated up there for troubleshooting and for CBRS application. This is a great particular product up there. So you don't need any another hardware to do testing. like I told you, grid testing. We can do grid testing up there too. So that option is there in mobile survey. You can add grid testing features, so you can do grid testing for public safety. Again, I'm not going detail on this particular session, but if you want to know more details, you can watch my old demo or set up a call with us and we can show you more product in detail. The next step is, let's go to design. That's where you guys came for. So this is a public safety design. Now, again, to save my time, what I've done in this particular project is we already created a project with 3D model. It's a single story building that, like I showed in mobile survey, which we're designing for. So it's a single story building. I have with a roof and I have to do a design for it. So one of the cool things in iBwave nowadays is you can customize tabs. So you have multiple tabs up there because every time people ask for feature, we add more feature. Now what we have done is we have a customized option where you can make a tab what you want to see all the time. So in my case, I created a public safety tab which have this particular features. These are commonly used in options I use. Now I have a project, I have to design for it. The customer say, hey, we just wanted to design NEC 95 for 95% of the area. They measured the signal on the roof was around NEC 75. So here you go, let's do a design. Everybody do different way. I'll show you the way I do design. So step one is I always put a riser. So riser basically means is, hey, where's the cable is running? How's the cable is running between the building? So I put a riser up here. If you notice on the floor one, you'll see another riser option. Automatically create a hole like in the building. So you can run the cables. Step two, I always be here donor antenna. If you're noticing right now, I always go to this preferred part list. I can always go to cable and find my cable, but that's a tedious process. I have to go back and back again. Why don't I save all the product I'm using all the time in my list so I can easily see it? So there's a thing called preferred part list, and I'll show you how to add it in a minute. So in this case, is the Yagi antenna. I place my Yagi antenna up this side. Now, if you notice it, it's pointing in the building. Well, it needs to other side. So you click on it, it sees green, basically. That allow you to change the direction of the antenna. So now antenna is pointing in that up and out direction. Now, the next step, I always say, hey, I need a BDA. Okay, so I have a generic BDA. I'm placing BDA on the floor one. Now I have a BDA, I have a riser. What else I need? Well, I need a signal source. So I put my, I'm going to design plan and flow plan. So understand, the way iBwave works is we design by floor. But what design plan option do is whole project, you can see at one location. So I have my donor antenna, I have my BDA. What I need a signal source. So I'm going to signal source and click generic signal source. When I can generate signal source, something like this kind of options comes up. One of the cool thing about iBwave is iBwave allow you to have templates. So I pick a public safety template product up here. Click OK. Now it automatically change everything to public safety features. So I have a public safety 7 MHz P25 system and one channel. So I call site number one. Now if you notice a type, signal source type, you have three options. Signal source basically means a base station. Right? In public safety, that's not an option. Remember what I said, I have measured a signal value, which is NEC 75 on the rooftop. Theoretical option, what theoretical options say, hey, think about a building, which does not exist right now, but it needs public safety coverage. I know my base station for public safety base station is 5 miles away. So I want to calculate theoretical value from the rooftop of the, on my new rooftop and public safety base station, how what the value can be. Now this will be always theoretical value up there, like, free space path loss calculation. But in this case, I have a measured RSSI. Basically saying, hey, I went to the rooftop, I saw NEC 65 signal, NEC 75 signal, I need. So you click next, you will see something like a phone, measure RSI, I say NEC 75 DPM, finished, and popped up here. The next step is associate with it. So we associating this and the donor antenna, right click up here, pop up associate. Next step is connecting cable. So I'm going to take a coax cable, 1/2 inch coax cable, and connect PDA. And it automatically asks for riser. So think about a building can we have multiple riser, right? So it'll ask you what riser option. In this case, we only have one riser one, so select up there. Now if we go to design plan, you'll see some connections are done. Now I can always change the direction up like here, or right click up here. I can do horizontal vertically or vertical horizontal, so it automatically nice and clean. And if you want to be very accurate, go back up here and horizontal vertical up there. Now the next step is I always follow is draw the coverage area. What area I need to cover on this particular project? So I need to cover this whole area. Now I'm not following the exact boundary, but you have to follow the exact boundaries. And if you press shift key or right angle, things will go straight line. So I'm going to go straight line and done. If you right click on this red pink option, you'll see the area definition set as a prediction and plan area. So basically you're telling the floor, hey, don't run the prediction everywhere. I just need the prediction only in this area specified. Once we have done that, one more thing you learn in public safety is critical area. Critical area basically means is, hey, that area, I need 100% coverage. So what's our design criteria? 95 for 95% area. But the critical area means I need to cover it. Why? Well, when emergency happened, if you think of a building, a fire happened, but people say, don't use the elevator, take stairwells. Now you want to make sure the coverage isn't stairwell. People making call or our fire department people are using that. They should have a radio should work. So you can take the area option again, draw a box up here. Okay. And if you right click on this one option, you see set compliance area property. So first thing is enable NIC 95 on 100% area. And click OK. Now my area is set, my compliance set. Now I have to do a design. Now before that, I always say, hey, if you know the cable route, draw the cable route where the cable is run. So in this, we have iBwave option, the cable route, or under network design is cable route. I put all my options which I like to use up here. When I say up here, basically means the toolbox. So the toolbox for on the top up here will give you all the options where the product are. Now I draw a cable route. I have my riser. Now I look at plant properties and I can automatically get the area, right? So if you look at the areas of this picture and say, hey, how much you need to cover? Based on my ideas, like I think 2 or 3 APs can cover this area. Now, how 2 or 3 antennas can cover this particular floor? How do you know that? Sometimes come with practice. If you're new, you can just place one antenna, run prediction, put another antenna, run prediction to that. But in my example, I can tell you, and most design engineers after a few designs, they'll say, hey, this is this much. One antenna can cover around 5 to 10,000 square feet. I think 3 will work. So let's use that model. 3 antenna can work up here in this design. And what? So I would generate omni antenna. I'm putting 3 antennas. Another things I always tell you, when you put an antenna, put antenna in the center. Don't put in the corners, because what happens when you put in the corners, half the signal will go outside the building. You don't want to do that. You put in the center. So now I have 3 antennas. If you want to do proper power balancing, I can use a 3-way splitter or something close to my MDF location and connect it to the antennas. Now this is done. Now traditionally, how you do connect cable? Now I'm going to go to splitter, connect 1 by 1 cable. Well, it's a great way of doing it, but it takes time. What iBwave done it, make life easier for everybody else. So now we have an option called quick connection tool. I can go quick connection tool. I select my cable route. I select my source, which I want to start the cable connection from. I select a cable. If there's no option comes up, you can click up on the 3 dot on the top, and it'll automatically give you the compatible cables. So coax half inch, I select that. Then it'll tell you what source, what other product, end product it is. You can click all of them one by one, or you can make a box also into that and apply. I have one more connection, BDA to splitter up there. So I can select my BDA as a source, select my cable. And if you notice very carefully, apply, there's a cable connection up here. Exit, all the connection. All the connections are here. Now, if you go design plan, all the connections up here. In design plans, I can take advantage of cable routes. I can do cable routes. I can draw a nice cable route like here, and I can connect my product there. Now, or if you can go under network design option, there's a thing called automation. And under automation, there's a feature called placements. Select orthogonal, and you'll see a magic in a second. Apply. It didn't work. Okay, I was not picking my source. So select source, automation, download from selected, left up there, and close. Now you see all the automatically placed up there. There's another option called cable magnet. I want my cables to nice and pretty, so I click on each cable and the cable route. Now your design is done. Automatically, it'll take a few minutes to do the design. Now my design is done. What is the next step? Well, run the prediction. Again, in iBwave options up there to create templates, and the value is already saved up there. Now, if you want to know how to create templates, we can do another session, one-on-one session with you and show that. Now, once the template is done, I'm only running signal strength plots up here. If you right click, go to properties, signal strength, specify, combine, include body loss weight margin option. You can filter up here. You can auto select all the float, or you can select only the floats you want to cover. Float 1. You can also set legend, edit. You can edit the legend as you need. And compliance, like 95% data. This is very, very important. Click OK. And you right click. Now, if you notice, it says pass, and it's the passing up here. So both things are meeting up here. Another important criteria in public safety is donor antenna isolation. What donor antenna isolation basically means is your donor antenna on the roof, it takes a signal from the base station, take the signal and amplify it. Now, what happens if your coverage antenna is next to a window and your donor antenna can see that signal, it'll start amplifying the amplified signal. And what happened? It keep amplifying, and BDA at certain points says, well, the input to me is too much. I cannot handle it. So it goes in oscillation, is shut down. You don't want to have happen. So it's very important to donor antenna isolation. So you right click up here, validate it. It works or not. Well, it says my current isolation is only 3.6. I need 20 dB. It's not working. How do you fix it? You go design plan, you click on BDA. The easy trick is reduce the gain and see if it works. So I can reduce the gain by 43, 17 dB, which I need. Downlink, and now I run the prediction. I want to make sure my prediction makes sense also, passes or not. And it fails up here. Why? Because there's bad coverage. So I'm going to move my antenna up here, closer to it, and see if it passes now. Oh, it passes now, and it passed my whole criteria too. Let's see now next step, validated. Oh, it passes too. I have isolation 21 dB. So now you know what the downlink by value is. So you tell your commissioning engineer, make sure the downlink is not more than 43. Other trick is to move the antennas further away from the walls up there to get the better reading. Now, remember I talked about great design. It's great. Now I have to give design to AJ, my project manager, contractor. You need a report in a good format, so easily to understandable. How we do that? If you look at reports, we have so many reports in iBwave. Now, one of the common use equipment list. You can click equipment list, say generate. It generates a report like this. Now, this report you can export in PDF or Excel or other formats as you need it. And you can customize report too to look in your format. We can also run compliance report, whether all my floors are passing or not. Report like this shows up. We can also, like now I have multiple reports. If I want to make sure I create a package where I can get report I want, output maps, compliance, equipment list, and you can save as Tony, or whatever name you want to call for your customer. If client wants some XYZ product type or report type, you can create there and you can generate one time. So all the reports will be created one time. You don't have to go again and again to it. So now this is a quick and easy way of doing the product. Now let me show you a completed project. So I can show you a couple of other plots which we have. We can see my screen. This is the one complete project we have. We have a cover page which shows the building, and we have a design, completed design of floors. So let's look at 3D plan. Now you can see the beauty about iBwave. iBwave exactly simulated what building looked like. Right? Now a very clear idea what building looked like. So that's the beauty of iBwave. You can do that. Now let's look at prediction plot. Signal strength plot is same like before. Signal leakage plot. Well, signal leakage plot is very important because again, one of the things of the in-building system is you stay the power inside the building, don't go outside the building. So that's the reason we have to put our antenna such a way that doesn't have a lot of outdoor prediction. So in this signal leakage plot tells you, hey, how much outside prediction you have and how you can reduce it. Another common thing in public safety you heard about near far effect. What near far effect basically means is if you look at a cellular phones, it only transfers 24 dBm. It's not much power, it's a quarter watt. But if you look at public safety radio, it transmits around 2 watts to 5 watts. So what's happened? Think about I'm far away from an antenna, I'm transmitting, I'm barely making it with maximum gain of the BDA, right? And suddenly somebody very close to the antenna, a coverage antenna like this one up here, and he keys in. In public safety, when keys in means you start talking. What's going to happen to the BDA? We say, hey, you're coming too power, reduce the gain. Reduce the gain. What happened to the guy who's a little bit far away? His calls drop. Now that's called near far effect. So somebody from near is affecting somebody from far away, right? So it's a very, very common thing happens, and that's the reason a lot of time, a lot of AHJs want more antenna density or better gain. So they want to all check for you. So in public safety, we have this feature we added. Now, uplink AG simply means is like, hey, if you're very close to it, antenna, this much attenuation the system is adding. So that will tell you how much AGC we have, worst case scenario, and how much is like, worst case scenario means if you're close to it, this much attenuation to add. So now with this much attenuation, your far away guy have to make the call. So this is a near far effect plot, which shows the predictions, it meet the near far effect property or not. We also have a very common thing. Think about like in an area, you have one public safety base station, and you have 100 sites, 100 in-building system. The one of the thing goal is like, hey, you don't add noise to the system. Your goal is not to add too much noise. So you want to make sure the uplink value is calculated. So we have this thing called uplink power antenna. Uplink power antenna basically means is, hey, each point on the floor plan, what is the value seen by the antenna, closest antenna, what the input value it's seen by the antenna. Now, why it's important? Because once you know the input value of the antenna, you can calculate the value going from the donor antenna back to the base station. And if you have a base station source setup is like signal source with theoretical value, then I know the distance. I know what is the path loss, right? I know the gain of the base station. So I can calculate it. I can calculate how much value is same with the base station system. So that will help us to find uplink RSSI in the system. And a lot of AHJs have a requirement that hey, it should not hit by a certain value. If you hit by a certain value, you have to make a changes to your design. So that's a quick way of doing sometimes I say three-day class in like 30 minutes. So again, if you have a question, please send us an email at sales@iBwave.com. We can set up a one-on-one demo with you, talk more about it. Since you've been a great audience, and we have a special thing for everybody. So hopefully you can see the screen. So we have a special promotion. So if you are a new iBwave customer, when you say new public safety customer, not iBwave customer, public safety customer, that basically means you may have a design enterprise, you have any other software version of iBwave, but you don't have public safety. Then you can purchase the software online in the next 30 days and you get 15% discount. Again, if you want to get training, you have chance to get training and it's a 15% discount to you too. The next thing is like, if you want to see my previous demo, please scan the barcode up there and you can see the demo. And the last thing is, if you want to send one-on-one demo with you guys, hey, you have a specific question, you want to see the scanner, you want to see my mobile survey, you want to see everything in more depth, have a lot of questions, send us an email at sales@iBwave.com and we can work with you and do one-on-one demo with you. Okay, I'm going to leave the screen because this is the most important screen up there. And what I'm going to do now is go through questions which are sent to me. and I answer one by one. Well, this is all great audience. I only have one question. Only one MNO. Only one MNO at a time. The question is only one MNO at a time. Well, we can do multiple systems. Like for example, in a design software, you can do a 700 system, 850 system, or you can have multiple donor antenna. So in some area, you have like a VHF system. You have a public 700 public safety, 800 public safety. Sometimes they're not coming from the same side. So you can put multiple donor antenna and connect to a single VDA or multiple VDA, and then you can combine the output power too. So we can handle multiple products of that. Now you have a scenario where you have to do cellular design and have to do public safety design. This will only work for public safety, but we have a product called Design Enterprise which can do everything else. One second, I'm not seeing. Okay, okay, okay. Where we can find baseline pricing for all the product is in this case the package is based on the first slide. The baseline pricing is on the website. For public safety software should be on website, and mobile survey should be on website too. Okay, okay, when we was talking about MRN SIM card walk testing, well, you can only do one SIM card at a time because your device may only handle one SIM card. So even you have multiple SIM option, it may not be able to detect everything at the same time. So I have to check on that. Okay, why we use riser or VIA? It's always used VIA. Very, very good question up there. So what happened? So technically what VIA basically means is, hey, when you have one building to another building connection and you don't know the information from one side to another side, then VIA is used. So traditionally, a lot of design engineers, including me, the way I used to use this, I didn't know where the head end will go, so I put the head end somewhere, and then I put my antenna somewhere, so I connect the cable. So when I don't know the starting point, end point, IB automatically create VIA for you. But if it's the same building, IB create risers for you. So that's the reason it's very, very important. It's not big difference. VI will ask you to like, hey, how much the length from the other point is, but the riser option will automatically calculate the length. So thumb rule is, if you have two products and you don't assign the one location of the one product on the design on the floor plan, and only with the second product, I will automatically create VIA for you. But the best thing is create riser like I showed you. So this way, all the cables will go through the riser and you have accurate length. So people are using interchangeably, but VIA is for two different buildings, or you don't know the location of head end and you're connecting other products of their remotes, then you can use VIA. But if the location is known, then use riser, please. Can you simulate DAC testing? We have SINR values up there. DAC values are based on, we don't do DAC value simulation up here, but they are based on your signal strength, DAC, SINR, and a couple other value. We do that in our Epic Prism scanner and mobile survey. We can calculate DAC value for you up there, but not for design right now. Can you do simplex operation? Yes, IBwave allow you to do multiple different things up there. It depends on the product you're using, and then you can do the results. Does IBwave system creating VEX files for specific hardware, or is that AJ or the AJ to create? Can you briefly describe the process? So VEX files are created for the third-party vendor. So a lot of our third-party vendor, they have the information. They have capability of doing themselves. We can assist them. Some of the but yeah, we can help you to create it. We can show you how to create it. So you should have software to do it yourself. But if not, then I think the small cost of making it for some client. But if the clients have the design software, again, depends on AMS package they have. We do sometime or they pay for it. It still depends on the sales team. You have to reach out to your sales guy. They can answer that question better than me. But Majority of the product in the market, it's not very complicated process. It's hard to cover in this 30 minutes, but I can surely set up a time with you and show how to create Rex files. It's not very complicated, and we guide our team through the process. What is the difference between IBA public safety and full version? Do you lock the bands that can you generate for, and could you drop cellular DAS equipment into the design? Yeah, so we had a design enterprise software. Like when I said, I've been in industry for 20 years. When IBF came up, everything was only one design enterprise. But a lot of people didn't use design enterprise. They only focus on, they didn't care about cellular design. They didn't care about Wi-Fi. They only focus on public safety. So because of that request, we only created a module which is just focused on public safety. Now it's more cost effective than the full. And you're right, in public safety, we only enable the bands which is support public safety. So if you put a cellular system, everything will gray out for you. So you really cannot do anything. You can drop the equipment here and there, but you may not able to see frequency, run predictions. You're really not able to take advantage of the software, why it is. Can you open the file and see the product? Yes, you can. Can you take advantage of everything else? No, you cannot. Great questions, all the very, very good questions. I didn't cover one thing, or is that a question was like the Vex files, do AJ have to create it? So AJ doesn't have to create it. The product manufacturer only creates it up there. But again, like we have different relationship with different partners, and we really help them. If they have design software or public safety software, they can create Vex file themselves. It's a very easy process. If they don't have it, we do it. Now there's a cost associated with it, but again, sales teams can answer that question better than me. But do we help our support team help you? If suppose you have AMS, that can support team help you? Case to case basis, we guide them process up there. So we do that. Any question else? Question up there? Okay. Again, I think I'm good in product demo series, and I covered as much as possible in the 30 minutes you have, but I'm not a great presenter. My wife can tell you that. I'm married 20 years, still she cannot understand what I speak. And I get excited, I speak fast. But the point of this particular demo was to give you an idea what IBF capability is. It's a very accurate and reliable software. It do from start to end, so you don't need multiple options, multiple different tools. It have seamless integration. So the advantage are far too many for IBF software, and it's very, very user friendly. It's a lot of people say, hey, it's RF, it's complex. I used a technical train up a long time back, and I used to teach people how simple designs, how to connect it up there. So it's very simple and easy to use software. Another cool thing is our product team. If you have get ideas, good suggestion, let us know. Our product team has work on it to make the tool much, much better. But again, I'm good, but not great. So if you have a question, please send an email to sales@ibwave.com. And we are more than happy to set another demo for you and go in more details about the product. Again, thank you all for joining us, and really appreciate that. There's another question came up, so I want to answer it. What's the typical distance between the antenna for public safety during the design? The answer is all depend on it. If you have a BDA and if you have 3 antenna, you have more power, so you can put less antenna because end of the day is more power coming out of it. If you have a lot more antennas, then if you have a lot of antennas, then there's power between a lot of antennas. So there's no hard and fast rule for it. So it all depends on what you're designing for. Now, again, some markets, some AHJs have made a rule that, hey, every X feet you have to put an antenna. Now that market specific. So it's a very, very good question because it's every market, every AHJ, they make decision what they want to see. And again, because end of the day, they will be using the system. So they have different requirements. So always tell people it's like, hey, before starting any work, please call your AHJ and say, hey, do you have a different requirement? Do you want a 2 or 5 rated cable, or do you want specific antennas every product? Because a lot of times they have tested something and they want to prefer that. So please talk to AJ because every market is different, every market is unique, and every requirement is unique. So if I design for Texas, it may not work for California, right? Because that even in California, that county may be different, or that city may be different. So please work with them. So yeah, there is no hard and fast rule how many antennas generally it is. I generally go with 5 to 10,000 square feet, depending on output power which I use. So that's where. Again, no more questions right now. So again, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate everybody joining today, taking time for a busy schedule to come up there. If you have questions, please reach out to sales@ibwave.com. I'm also on LinkedIn profile. You can search it, add me. If you have a question, anything I can help you, I'm more than happy to help you. But thank you, everyone. Daniel, anything final word? Okay. Nobody want to talk, but thank you
No,
very much.
all good. All good. Great presentation. Thank you very much for joining and have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. You have a good day, guys. Take care.